Police!
Urgent assistance.
In modern Britain,
There's been a big accident.
the most dramatic 999 calls
The car is now on fire.
often require not one, but two emergency responders.
I'm a police officer, she's paramedic.
In Kent, one of Britain's biggest counties,
I'm just thinking if we just cover it all.
a groundbreaking joint response unit has been formed,
Ready, set, lift.
where both police and paramedic combine in one specialist vehicle
You've been arrested for assault.
to answer some of the most extreme 999 calls.
Right, stand clear. Everyone clear? Shocked.
We already outdone ourselves on that one.
Face the wall? Mate, I can't believe we got him.
Coming up, a diabetic man is in a coma.
Neil, can you hear me?
A suspected kidnap.
I was unconscious in the back of a stranger's vehicle there.
What the?
And a car thief crashes at high speed.
They've hit that, I think, are roughly about 70 plus.
The South East Ambulance Service and Kent Police Joint Response Unit attend over 5,000 incidents requiring urgent police and medical assistance every year.
We'll show us state 5. Can you change my call sign to 07, please?
It's 8 p.m. and JRU Police Constable Ben and paramedic Lisa are called to an incident on a residential road in Chatham, North Kent.
It's a 3-vehicle RTC in quite a built-up road, really. It's a 30-mile-an-hour road. Believe that somebody has made off from one of the vehicles. We don't know exactly who. There's also, at this time of night, 8 o'clock at night, there's quite a few pedestrians walking up and down this road, going to the local takeaways. So just hope there's no pedestrian involved as well. It's this perfect job for the JRU because of patients with injury, scene safety, patient safety. It works, having all of us in one place.
Jesus Christ. Oh, bud. Right, what we got? So, this chap, yeah, he's driving with this car. Yeah. He's parked it down the road, gone to the shop, left the keys in the ignition. Come out and says he's seen him flying down the road. He's run down here, found this accident.
The driver of the stolen car has fled the scene, leaving a trail of destruction in his wake.
Those other vehicles are believed to be stationary. That's when something's into the wall and the metal fence, but the fence is protruding into a gap in the electric box.
A nearby house and critically its gas meter have been damaged.
Chris, I think you might need a skipper down here, mate. Purely because of the structural. This would be just the wall, but it's depending what the foundation's like.
Structural damage to the house means that this will be a long night for all the emergency services.
So I've just spoken to one of the firemen. The car that's against the house over there, the fire brigade have checked. There's some gas meters and an electricity cupboard. The door of the electricity cupboard is broken. They are going to triple check that in a moment.
If gas is leaking, this could mean serious danger and could trigger a lethal explosion. They also spot another danger.
But they're just making the car safe. I think they're trying to detach the battery.
The batteries in cars are highly flammable, so this, combined with the potential gas leak, could spell disaster. It's critical that the fire brigade make the scene safe before the JRU can start their work in earnest. The average response time for a Category 1 emergency call-out for the JRU is just 6 minutes, a whole minute faster than the national target for Category 1 calls. And that minute can mean the difference between life and death.
This General broadcast on a Category 1 call in Lordwood. 47-year-old, unconscious, ineffective breathing.
JR04? Yeah, can you put a CAD on, please, for a public cardiac arrest?
It's midnight, and Special Constable Tom and paramedic Chelsea are on their way to a call-out in Lordswood, Kent.
The information that we have is that she is unconscious and ineffectively breathing. So we're looking at potentially a public carjack arrest. These are jobs that the JRU quite frequently will attend, because if it's a public carjack arrest, other than obviously dealing with the patient, you have to consider the environment. If we're in public, we're going to need probably a bit of scene management. That kind of scene gets a lot of attention, and so the police are a very handy ally in jobs like this.
04, go ahead.
We've got a call about a silver VW stat. I'm just waiting on further, but just due to the location potentially linked to us.
Yeah, thank you.
About what?
Yeah, female was unconscious in the back of a stranger's vehicle now.
What?
So
We've got a call.
We've got another call coming in. We don't know the circumstances of it at the moment.
The two separate call-outs are possibly related.
So we've had an update from the police that they've got a separate call for an address on the same road for a female in the back of a car unconscious. So chances are these two calls are going to be linked.
But it looks like the crew are at the scene now.
The JRU arrived to find the woman unconscious in the middle of the road and ambulances in attendance.
Hey.
Is it this car?
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's just get her up. What's her name? Do we know? My love, we're going to get you up and get you onto the stretcher, all right? Are you able to sit up?
In Chatham, North Kent, Joint Response Team Ben and Lisa are dealing with the aftermath of a high-speed crash involving a stolen car. After checking for gas leaks and other deadly hazards, the fire brigade declare the scene safe.
And I spoke to your chap there, and he said that you're happy that the house is safe for the gas meters and
The
stuff.
gas are them two there on the left-hand side. No, not really took a hit. The electric's the one that took a hit,
But that's all right.
it's okay.
That means Ben and his fellow police officers can finally start their investigations.
Which one's got who's got it?
And there could be a lead.
Right. Sorry, mate. You got footage, yeah?
One of the nearby houses has CCTV of the crash and possibly the suspect on camera.
Can you do me a favour? So someone seemed to run from the car. Can we walk up and see if there's any CCTV or any of the shops that may have this male going to it for me, yeah? At the moment, I'm looking at a male who's about 6 foot, quite stocky, wearing black trousers with a t-shirt or a top, not too sure, mate. All right? Yeah. Thank you. I mean, we've asked some residents if they've got any cameras. There's some Ring doorbell footage, which is fantastic, because Ring doorbells pick up instantly what happens. So it shows a car coming from the location behind you there, straight down here at speed, and then lose control, fishtail, as the back end goes, and it collides with there. There's a pedestrian you see walking probably a couple of seconds before the car's impacted. Thank God he wasn't anywhere near as such, because if he was, he'd be dead. The speed impact of that crash, it would have killed him instantly.
The CCTV footage taken from the Ring doorbell camera of the residential house is shocking.
So I've just seen the CCTV, and from what I've seen, there was a pedestrian literally within feet of this. So had he been a couple of seconds earlier, we'd be looking at a fatal.
The footage shows how near a pedestrian came to losing his life. And importantly, now the police have a vital lead.
On the CCTV from the shop, which your colleague, wherever he's gone, Chris has got, there's 3 that get out.
Police officers have also managed to track down more footage from another CCTV camera.
Male jumps out of there. He's about 6 foot, quite a stocky bloke, and he ends up down that left side. How they've survived that, God only knows. They've hit that, I think, are roughly about 70 plus, easily.
The footage shows not 1, but 3 men running away from the near-fatal crash. One of the men then runs back to retrieve something.
Is that the one who's
He's the one that's got out of this. So the bloke's parked it up, left the keys in, him and a skinny man got in, and you see the car come down there.
But there's 3 that got out of this.
I think that big lad got out of this side.
Yeah. And I think it was the skinny lad that got out that side, but there's definitely 3 that get out, and you see them on the pavement over there, and then they all go that way.
How are they not injured?
Well, the one that was in the front gets out and he's standing like this, but that could just be smoke from the airbag.
Yeah, exactly.
Knowing now there were 3 people in the stolen car, Lisa turns detective to see if there's any physical evidence left behind.
Have we actually looked inside to see if there's any sort of blood or anything? And has he got there is a little bit of blood on the back seat, guys. I didn't realise at the time there was 3 in the car, so I didn't look at the back. They're on the back seat.
Traces of blood gathered at a crime scene can be used as forensic evidence by extracting DNA in the lab.
Chris, are we seizing this for forensics? I would consider the airbag forensics, mate.
Any blood, hair or fibres left on the airbags will also be considered evidence and will be analysed.
Just having a look on the back seat, there are a few spots of blood and there's some tracing of blood on the side of that front seat. So whether that's where the person in the back is bleeding and has grabbed hold of that, or it's may have come from the person in the front. But there's nothing on the airbags, but I think they're going to seize it for forensics and evidence, and hopefully we'll be able to get some more answers.
It's just how somebody's got out of that car is incredible. It is a high impact incident. You know, hopefully when we seize that vehicle, due to the fact it has got stuff in there that potentially could be of forensic value to us, we'll locate whoever's taken the car and then they'll be brought to justice.
On the CCTV we've seen from different angles, we see 3 men get out of the car. One of them stands at the footpath on the opposite side of the road, bending over. There are spots of blood on there. Then on the CCTV, you see him cross back to this side of the road, and there are, again, little spots of blood going up the road. Nothing too heavy, so maybe something to suggest either a small cut to the head or a nosebleed, but obviously the guys are going to swab those because it's not raining, so it's perfect conditions. We might be able to get something from that.
The evidence gathered will hopefully lead to tracking down those involved. Just a few miles north, Tom and Chelsea are investigating another car-related mystery. This one involving an unconscious woman found in the street.
We've got a radial. Yeah.
Early reports suggested a possible abduction after she'd been seen in the back of a stranger's car.
It's a grey Vauxhall Insignia that she was in.
Special Constable Tom needs to get to the bottom of what's gone on.
Is this your car?
This is my car.
Right, okay, so you've driven here, and then what's happened?
So what happened, she was saying somebody nicked her car from the petrol station.
Right, okay.
And then she said, can you drop me home? I said, okay.
Right, and someone's stolen her car from the petrol station, right? JR04, that Passat that was mentioned, who does that go down to? Is that the potential female that we believe this might be?
Jet Romeo 4, that goes down to the foreman.
Right, initially confusing. The Insignia has come across this female in a lot of distress, saying her car has been stolen, and she was on the phone to the police at the time, so far.
Now thinking this wasn't a kidnap, Tom hopes the 999 call centre might corroborate the driver's story.
It's all very weird.
Yeah, we spoke about quarter to midnight. She's asking for a lift home. He was obviously explained to her the police weren't a taxi service.
Oh, okay.
She was then crying, and then she was asking a male for a lift home. She then got into that vehicle with that male. The call taker then spoke to that male who said that he'd drop her home.
So you've got here, you were on the phone to the police, and then what's happened there?
And then when I pull over here, I ask her what number she lives. So I can open the door if the parents come out.
Yeah, sure.
And the police officer, they told me she lives alone.
Right.
And then I said, she's not talking, she's not moving. They asked me if she's breathing or not.
Right, okay.
I said, her stomach pulling out. She's breathing.
So how has she ended up out here? Have you pulled her out of the car, or?
No, I did not pull her. They pulled her.
Oh, they've pulled her out. Okay, that's fine.
More details about the woman have been uncovered by the 999 operator.
And I've just spoken to the initial call taker. She was arrested the other day for EBA in that silver VW Passat. She has then got in a taxi to go and collect her vehicle from the forecourt of the garage. She then found herself stranded there because she couldn't find her vehicle and it's been recovered. This is when I believe the male in the vehicle that you gave us has given her a lift home, and in doing that, she's gone unconscious in the back of the vehicle.
Right, okay, that makes more sense.
The driver of the car turns out to be a good Samaritan, trying to help the woman who was arrested the night before for EBA or driving with excessive breath alcohol.
Have we got any update?
She's really drunk.
Right, okay.
Tom, come up here a second. Do you recognise her at all? Because
I've potentially got an email with a
I've been to
photo.
her a few times before and I can't think of what her name is.
What's your name, sweet? What's your name?
Oh, there she is.
That's the one. She's been like this every time.
It turns out the woman is familiar to the paramedics for her issues with drinking.
All good, mate?
Yeah, that's all fine. Thank you very much for giving her a lift. I know you didn't have to, but...
Being a human being, that's all.
Yeah, no, that's it, mate. That's it. Cool. Right, thank you very much for your time.
Thankfully, this was just a case of a stranger simply trying to do a good deed.
2 weeks ago, I applied for British citizenship, and they told me I have to, if I see someone need a help assistant in this country, I have to do it, to be honest. Yeah. Trying to be as good as I could. If I see someone in the road need a help, I will definitely help them out.
So we've managed to get there in the end. She definitely needs to go to hospital. So she's going to be treated for a high level of intoxication, I think, rather than a cardiac arrest, which is better than being in a cardiac arrest.
The vehicles the Joint Response Unit use are much faster than ambulances, which means the JRU teams are often the first to the scene for a Cat 1 life and death call. The team can often resolve incidents swiftly and prevent the need for further patrols and ambulances.
Yeah, go left.
6 p.m. and Special Sergeant Jack and paramedic Aisha are the JRU team called to a Category 1 emergency.
Coming as a cardiac arrest for an adult 60-year-old male. He's now going on as a diabetic coma.
A diabetic coma is a life-threatening medical emergency caused by blood sugars that are either too high or too low. Left untreated, it can be fatal, so the JRU are called, as Aisha is the nearest available paramedic.
I will be there in 5.
Thank you. I mean, it does say diabetic coma as well. Whether or not they were in a diabetic coma and now obviously not breathing, I'm not sure. But that's all we've got. But there is a crew just behind your back.
Okay, amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
So anyone with diabetes, if their blood sugars go too low, it can cause them to become unconscious and completely unresponsive. You need glucose for every bodily function. So if that drops too low, then it can cause you to go into cardiac arrest. So you need to get there and try and resuscitate this person. Hello, my love. Okay. All right. Let's get in there. Hello, sweetheart. What's happened?
Well, just sit down a minute.
Is he breathing? He is breathing. What's his name?
Neil.
Neil, can you hear me?
Although he is breathing, Neil is unresponsive.
Can you hear me, darling? So how did we end up down here?
He sat down to eat his tea, yeah. And then he just went like that.
Oh, pupils are good.
2 minutes later, the ambulance crew arrive to help.
Is he diabetic?
Yeah.
Let's do sugars.
And has this ever happened before?
No.
He's type 1 diabetic, isn't he? And he's taking all his medication as he should do.
Yeah.
He just...
31.
31 on the dot. What's high for him?
So he's normally mid, lower teens.
Okay.
To 20s.
All right. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Neil has a dangerously high blood sugar level of 31 millimoles per litre. Normal sugar levels for a male of his age should be between 4 and 7.
So at the moment, this gentleman's sugars are very high, which is likely the cause of his unconsciousness at the moment. So we're going to get a cannula in. So yeah, once we've got some access to his veins, we can give him some fluids.
Intravenous sodium chloride will help balance Neil's blood glucose levels and hopefully restore consciousness.
You laid him on the floor, right? He didn't fall? Didn't hit his head or anything like that?
He was just sat in the chair.
Brilliant.
Down to make sure he's breathing.
Okay.
Neil has learning difficulties and lives with his sister and brother-in-law who were with him when he collapsed.
Do you check his sugars often?
Yeah, every twice a day, yeah, in the morning.
And they were fine this morning?
They're ever so high.
They're always high. All right. And was he complaining of feeling unwell before this?
He's handicapped.
Oh, okay. And how does that affect him daily?
I mean, he's all right then, he goes to work. And
So it doesn't really affect him then?
only that he can't add up and converse with people and that doesn't sort of remember much.
Right, okay. Only because, you know, when he comes around, if they try and talk to him and he can't talk, then that changes things.
Well,
That's the only reason I was asking.
He could talk before.
Just popping this up your nostrils, my love.
And you say he took his insulin not that long ago before dinner?
He does have high blood sugars, whether that's the reason for the unconsciousness. It's difficult for us to know. We're just going to be doing lots of checks on him, trying to figure out why he's unconscious. Running some fluids, it might help, might bring him round a bit more if it is because the sugars are too high.
Neil is unresponsive. If he doesn't come round soon, it could result in permanent brain damage or even death. Over in Chatham, North Kent, paramedic Aisha and Special Sergeant Jack have been called to a life-threatening medical emergency. 60-year-old Neil is in a diabetic coma and unresponsive.
Neil, can you hear me?
You all right, Neil? Neil? Neil, can you give me a squeeze of the hand?
Oh, amazing.
Oh, nice and strong, mate.
With his blood sugars stabilising after receiving intravenous fluids, Neil starts to come around.
Neil, it's the ambulance service. You're all right, lovey? That's it.
I think we may need a little trip, my love.
Yeah.
I'm afraid so.
See what's gone on today. So we've given this gentleman some fluids and he's started to respond to us now, which is a really good sign. Indicates it likely was the high blood sugars that's caused him to become unconscious. So we are going to do another check on his blood sugar. We're going to get him up onto a chair in a minute and see where we are. Neil, I'm checking your blood sugars on your hands. There's going to be a sharp scratch, my love. 1, 2, 3. Well done. 26.7, so...
His blood sugar levels are slowly coming down, but they're still 4 times higher than normal.
Right.
Can I take her to the Lake District?
We need to get you checked over, but as long as things keep getting better like they are, then I don't see why not. But that will be down to the hospital when they look at you, all right, darling?
Neil's worried about his holiday plans, but his next trip is to A&E.
Just sitting up. I'm not going anywhere, just having a sit. And I'm going to put myself behind you. There we go.
How are you feeling sitting up, darling?
You
A little bit better. Okay. All right, darling. I'm going to do that blood pressure, all right? So it's going to squeeze your arm a little bit.
Oh. Don't be sorry.
Why are you apologising, darling?
Look, your sister's here.
It's all right.
I think you just gave everyone a little bit of a scare.
Yeah.
What the life out.
Oh, bless.
But you're back with us, aren't you, Neil?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, so sorry.
Don't apologise. We're just glad that you're up and talking to us now.
It's my fault.
Oh, it's not your fault, darling.
Yes.
Why do you think it's your fault, my love?
Because I could have got a problem.
Oh, no, you don't.
Should we get you sitting on one of our chairs?
I'd have to.
All right, put your hand on the back of my elbow and then have a seat. Oh.
Look at you.
Is that better?
Lovely.
That's lovely. No one said that about our chairs.
Bless him.
Am I okay to take that wire off? We're not going to be shooting straight off like that, so you'll give you time to get yourself together a bit.
Okay, well,
Where are you going? There's no arms on the chair.
Neil,
Neil, my love.
what happened? Neil, squeeze my hand for me, darling. Neil. Hello, darling.
Back again.
Keep falling asleep on us, my love.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I apologise.
You've got nothing to apologise for, Neil.
I do.
No, you don't.
It's my fault.
No, it's not, darling. Just this sometimes happens when you've got diabetes.
I love you all.
Yes, we love you too, dear, but you've got to behave yourself.
You're not a troublemaker, are you?
I'm not going to die, mate.
No. We're going to look after you, not on our watch.
Okay.
All right.
Do you secretly eat sweets in your bedroom?
I've got biscuits in my
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there we go.
All your secrets are coming out now. We're not really sure why he collapsed when he got in the chair. Sometimes some sorts of illnesses, infections, anything going on with the heart, neurological conditions can cause sugars to go up. Having just done his blood sugars again, they have started to go back up despite the fluid. So any kind of infection will cause sugars to go up. Blood tests, scans in hospital is going to probably get the full works to try and figure out why sugars keep going up despite our interventions. Hey.
Can you see what's going on now?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit?
I can see fish and chips on the table.
You can see fish and chips.
It's my fault.
What was it that you ate, darling? What was the naughty food?
I can't remember.
You can't remember. Should we get you into a bed on the ambulance, darling, so you can have a lay down?
Yes, please. All right.
One sec.
Can you see sunshine?
I can see the cold.
You can see. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Neil will undergo further tests at hospital to rule out any underlying issues.
He's in good spirits despite what's just happened to him. A really lovely patient to deal with. 1, 2, 3. Well done. And then we're going to have a little dance and a seat.
I can feel a party.
You can feel a party? So I haven't had this exact situation. Normally once we treat with fluids, the sugars do normally stay down. So that's why I'm thinking there's probably an infection or something causing those sugars to go up, not just the naughty food that he's eaten.
Not all emergencies require police backup, but more often than not, Aisha needs her joint response police partner alongside. It's a new shift and a new police partner for Aisha.
So we've had a report of a fight involving a male that's unconscious but breathing on the floor. Further reports suggest that he's now sort of up on his feet, but we're still going to make way and find out what's gone on and see if he needs any medical attention, especially if he has been unconscious at some point.
She's teamed up with Police Constable Tom, and they're called to a roadside assault in Rochester.
A patrol that's on scene have given an update that he's got a significant cut to his hand and forehead.
It's a perfect job for the Joint Response Unit.
Well, you've got the medical side being him and his injuries, but then you've also got a police side of things because someone's obviously done something to him to cause them injuries and obviously put him on the ground unconscious.
My main concern on the way to this is the head injury. Obviously, a hand injury, although it could be significant, the head injury is the one that we're going to be concerned about that, you know, could potentially be life-changing or even fatal.
Last year, the Kent JRU attended hundreds of call-outs involving assaults.
Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Clive.
Clive. My name's Aisha. I'm a paramedic
Hello,
with CCAM. What's happened today?
Well, I went out. I've been out all day with my boy.
Yeah?
We've had a good day.
Good.
You know me.
Yeah. Just going to feel your wrist while we're talking. Yeah, just going to feel your wrist.
Idiots, yeah?
Yeah, of course. And what's happened? Have you been punched, kicked?
You got punched.
Punched.
Punched. I fell down the floor and bounced.
Okay. So is the injury to your head from the punch or from hitting the floor?
Hitting the floor.
Hitting the floor. Did you lose consciousness?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
And I'll come round.
Okay, all right. Right, I'm going to do some observations, darling, then I'll get a good look at that injury. If you've been knocked unconscious, I'd always recommend a trip up to the hospital to get checked over. Potentially they might want to do a scan.
Okay.
But I'm just, because obviously we're not on a truck, so I'm just going to have to request a truck to come to take you. All right? JR01 control. This gentleman has been knocked unconscious, not unconscious any longer, but will need to go to hospital. So could we have a grade 2 backup, please?
Roger, grade 2 backup will be received. I will get some IT as soon as I can.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you very much.
Whilst Aisha attends to the head injury, Tom takes witness statements to try and find the attacker.
So then, what time did you leave there?
Clive left before us. We left probably about 20 minutes before.
Okay. And where was you leaving to go? Go home?
Yeah, we were going home, yeah.
And where was Clive going, do you know?
He'd left to go home.
Oh, he'd go home as well, yeah?
It's all right, we're just trying to light in your eyes, darling. Right. Any alcohol today?
Yes.
Yeah,
I've had a
that's all
few
right.
today.
That's all right.
My
It just,
boy.
yeah, it just changes things with a head injury. We've got to bear that in mind, all right, darling? How are you feeling at the moment? Any headaches?
No.
Dizziness? No?
No.
Good. All right. Always good when they're no longer unconscious. He's been drinking alcohol today, which confuses head injuries a little bit, so just to be precautious, up to hospital. Potentially to have a scan on the head. I still need to visualise the injury. Good chance that's going to need stitches or glue or something from what the police officer said, but check that over and have a truck here soon to take him up there. But so far, observations are okay.
Aisha takes off the makeshift bandage applied by one of the witnesses so she can get a proper look at the injury.
I'm going to give that a little bit of a clean. All right. But yeah, I think you're definitely going to need some potentially glue or stitches or something in that. You sure you've got no pain? Is it not even stinging?
No, no.
You sure you don't want any pain relief at all?
No. I don't need that, mate.
Hard as nails.
Ex-Scotty.
You had blood coming from your ear. Where's that from, darling?
I don't know.
Okay.
Bleeding from the ear after a head injury could indicate internal trauma to the brain.
It's definitely a reason to go and get checked out at a hospital. We don't like seeing blood coming from the ears, so to make sure there's nothing further going on inside that we need to be concerned about.
So then what's happened next?
Yeah, we was walking down to go home, and he's then come over and started having a go at my partner, telling us that we needed to get off of their road.
Okay.
And then when Clive got to us, that's when they started screaming and shouting and everything again. He's basically tried defusing it.
Bless him, seems like all he's trying to do is help the situation. He's ended up getting hurt.
Yeah. Ran back towards him and punched him.
Yeah, was it just the one punch? Yeah. And he's fallen to the ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you think the actual head injuries from where he's hit the floor?
Yeah, so where he's hit the floor that hard where he got knocked out straight away.
How long was he unconscious for?
A couple of seconds.
Couple of seconds, and has come back round, got himself up. All right.
Because I put him straight in the recovery position.
Well done.
Is there any CCTV? Yeah, there is.
The attack has been caught on CCTV, which will be key to identifying the suspect.
We've got two really good witness statements, and it just provides a much bigger sort of evidential package when we now go and arrest the suspect. And now when he turns around and most likely says, I didn't do it, we've got two brilliant witness statements and CCTV to say, actually, you did, and you're coming with us.
If there's any issues, anything, please give us a shout. We'll see what we can do to help. All right?
Go and get him, boys. There's no excuse in any sort of circumstance, especially this one. 3 people have just gone for a beer on a Sunday, watching the football, and they've come home and the poor guy's been assaulted. So yeah, there's no excuse for it, and it's definitely something we stamp down on as Kent Police as quickly as possible. Hence the really quick response to it, and they're off now, hopefully to go and nick the bloke.
While police officers go to find the offender, the ambulance crew arrive to take Clive up to hospital.
So Clive is on the ambulance now. They're going to be reassessing, doing another set of observations to make sure nothing's changed in the time that I've been with him. And then they will be popping up to hospital as long as he still consents to that, so that he can have some further assessments in hospital.
Blood pressure is 144 over 94, and the blood sugars were 6.3.
So not much more for me to do here now the crew has arrived. Make sure that they're up to date with what I've done so they can hand it over to the hospital.
And something like that, you could be looking at time inside, which me personally, I think that's where they probably belong after doing something like that.
Every 22 minutes, someone is killed or seriously injured on UK roads. Road traffic collisions, or RTCs, are one of the most common incidents that the Joint Response Unit attends.
Julie Romeo 04.
It's 11 p.m. and the JRU are 7 hours into their 12-hour shift.
So, we are off to an RTC rollover in Longfield, which is sort of Gravesend way.
Special Sergeant Jack and paramedic Nathan are called from their base in Rochester to a crash close to the village of Longfield.
Single vehicle RTC by the sounds of it. 33-year-old male, rolled his car, back pain but out of his vehicle.
More than 200 of the 5,000 incidents the JRU have been called to in the last year have been RTCs.
So he's got himself out of the vehicle, he's got cuts and bruises to his arms, and then he's got neck and back pain, which are quite common in RTCs, especially a rollover. The concerns are if he's not wearing a seatbelt and stuff like that, and then also the speed of the impact as well. So all stuff we'll look for when we get there to see kind of what the mechanism of his injuries are.
Jeez up, man, there's loads of... It's either lots of people or trapped people.
You have to go primary for?
In Longfield, paramedic Nathan and officer Jack have just arrived at the scene of a single vehicle crash. The fire brigade are already at the scene, but the injured driver urgently needs the specialist help of Nathan, the first paramedic to arrive.
All right, mate.
Chap's mate's dragged him out. He's
Yeah.
in the back of the train.
Okay.
So far, we're
No
just
worries.
giving some oxygen, but
No worries.
so far, yeah.
Tiago, I'm Nathan, a paramedic.
The driver has been waiting 15 minutes in freezing conditions for medical help.
What's happened, mate?
I remember the car overturning.
Yep.
I think I must have fell asleep.
Fell asleep behind the wheel, you think? How did you get in the back of the van?
Oh,
You walked and then kind of...
I was on the grass.
Yeah. And did you collapse down in here? Did you lie down?
Just because my back was really
Yeah.
and I couldn't stand.
Miraculously, the driver has escaped through the window of his upturned car and crawled in the dark into the back of his friend's van.
Has your friend just come across you?
We were playing football together.
Oh, nice.
When he came down the road, he saw my car.
Yeah.
Although the driver claims he fell asleep at the wheel, Nathan's police partner Jack must piece together events that led to the crash.
He thinks he's fallen asleep behind the wheel. As a result, he's crossed onto oncoming traffic, missing cars, hit what is potentially a tree stump or something over there, which has probably woken him up, and he's rebounded onto the other side. There's a bit of a verge and he's gone up it, and the car's just ended up on its roof. It's an electric car, so there's lots of batteries in there, so the fire service are just trying to make sure before they flip it, nothing's going to leak out of it, and it doesn't just spontaneously combust, because that would be a very bad day out.
Where's the pain at the moment?
In my neck.
In your neck. And if you had to score the pain out of 10, what would you give it?
8.
8, no worries. Strange question, you haven't wet yourself at all?
I hope not.
No, that's fine. And are you able to squeeze your bum cheeks?
Yeah.
All fine, good. Wiggle your toes?
Yeah.
Perfect. There's no loss of sensation or feeling in your legs, which is a good sign. I'll be back in just a minute, mate. I'm just going to get you some pain relief.
No one else involved, single vehicle collision, injury to himself and himself only, nobody else, which is lucky. Once he's in the ambulance, we'll ask him to provide a specimen of breath, just to make sure, as we do with everyone.
From what he's saying, he fell asleep behind the wheel, which means he hasn't tensed up at all for the impact. But quite a modern car, so it's got quite good impacts. And, oh, 1 second. Juliet Romeo 04 CCAM, can I get a grade 2 backup, please?
Yeah, grade 2 all done for you, over.
Lovely, thank you very much.
A grade 2 backup means an ambulance is needed for a serious, though not life-threatening, medical emergency for urgent transportation to hospital.
Have you ever had gas and air before?
Yeah, when my wife was
pregnant. You had a go? Yeah? Who hasn't? So, we'll give you some of that. And what I'll do is I'll pop a little needle in your vein and look at giving you a bit stronger pain relief through that as well, all right?
Gas and air is a gas comprised of oxygen and nitrous oxide used to reduce severe pain.
Might make you feel a bit woozy, a bit tingly around the lips and stuff, a bit like you're drunk. Okay. That's fine. That's it. That's the noises we want.
While they wait for the ambulance to move him to hospital, Nathan discovers a potential problem.
Just relax this arm down for me. Sorry, where's that hurting?
My right arm really hurts.
This.
I think it's broken.
So, feeling it, it doesn't feel broken.
Okay, that's
so feeling along the bones here, they're all in line.
Okay.
And you're not wincing with too much pain. It all seems muscular.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna set up a cannulation, give him some stronger pain relief. Sharp scratch, sir. There we go, that's all in perfectly. So just gonna put in some IV paracetamol. So I let that run through while I draw up some morphine and some anti-sickness to give him. It's a roof, there's loads of holes in here. It's perfect. Never had such a good place. Little like mini hospital in here, it's perfect.
The driver had an incredible escape when he crawled out of his crashed car into the safety of his friend's van.
To be fair, better place to be in here, out of the wind, out of the elements. It's exactly on the cold, wet grass is normally where we find people. How's that pain feeling now?
My arm.
It's still hurting.
But now he faces another move, which won't just be a challenge for him, but for Nathan too.
So he's going to need to be conveyed to hospital, so we're just trying to get his pain under control, and then hopefully that will coincide perfectly for the ambulance arrival.
The ambulance crew arrive, and with a neck injury, the biggest risk is moving him into the ambulance and causing more damage.
So I think we're going to be self-extricating. Okay. So we've had a decent amount of pain relief. Pain's now down to a 3 out of 10 in his back.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Do you want to roll to your side? That's it. Bring your legs down the side, that's it. You've done this before. That's it.
Well done.
Where's that pain?
On my right hand side.
All down your arm there?
On the back.
Oh, down in here?
No, lower.
Take a deep breath in again. Perfect. There, sorry mate. All on the shoulder blade, on the scapula.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it, don't do more than you can.
Okay. Well, we're here to help you, so you can grab hold of me if you need to.
Good, he had a slight bit of muscular pain in the back there, where he seized up a little bit. But it all seems muscular sort of pains, which is good. So we're gonna lie down flat now. One more bit, that's it, perfect.
Having got himself out of the van and into the ambulance, there's still one more test the driver has to pass.
Perfect. Test result is 2. The legal limit is 35, so well under. Right.
But even a pass doesn't mean his worries are over.
He will likely still be dealt with for falling asleep behind the wheel. Luckily, he hasn't injured himself and anybody else. Luckily, the injuries haven't been more severe. So he'll probably get issued with a ticket, so a traffic offence report, and from the traffic offence report, one of our team, they'll review it and decide the best course of action. It might be a fine, it might be points, depending on what offence specifically he's given the ticket for.
I was tired, but I didn't feel sleepy, but then I woke up when I crashed into something. Now in my mind I'm thinking if I press the accelerator or the brake when I hit something, because it felt like the car never, I was going forever. You look at the state of the car, it's very badly damaged. It looks like I'm all right, considering everything, so it's a big lesson for me.
The 60-mile-an-hour road, if he had been doing 60 and it'd gone a little bit further into the bushes and hit a tree and he'd stopped dead there against a tree, it could be a completely different outcome for him.
A rollover accident at any speed can cause catastrophic or even fatal injuries, so it was a lucky escape for this particular driver.
My love, we're going to get you up and get you onto the stretcher, all right?
What's his name? Neil, can you hear me? What's happened? Have you been punched, kicked?
You got punched?
Punched.
What's happened, mate?
I remember the car overturning.
Yep.
I think I must have fell asleep.
How they've survived that, God only knows. They hit that, I think, are roughly about 70 plus, easily.